But chilly temperatures definitely to start the day. We think we're going to be below the freezing mark here early on. And a freeze warning is in effect. We'll talk more about that. And I've got 2 chances for snow this week. I'll show it to you coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Implemented those rules so we could have more attentive drivers and safer highways for everybody.
But now some of them don't apply as truck drivers deliver essential items during this COVID-19 pandemic. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. Federal regulations for truck drivers were temporarily lifted by the president. The laws were intended to, of course, keep drivers safe. The hours of service law limits the amount of time a driver can spend on the road. Now that rule doesn't apply to those hauling essential items. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen has the story.
Truck drivers spend hours behind the wheel, often driving hundreds of miles at a time.
It's important to have a sharp mind.
The hours of service, or HOS, regulations were created to help ensure drivers stay vigilant.
Essentially, truck drivers have to get 8 hours of rest after 10 hours of driving, and so they can be ready and fresh to drive the next day.
During the COVID-19 crisis, the president temporarily lifted the hours of service law for those hauling essential items. The new exemption enables truck drivers to travel for longer periods of time.
In order to ensure that goods and services, critical goods and services, could be delivered to important places like emergency supplies.
Plus, the weight limit has been increased.
We're all trying to put more products in trailers so we can get more products delivered to grocery stores and more products delivered to emergency supplies.
Steve Gold with 160 Truck Driving Academy says there's an important history behind the reason why HOS regulations were established.
These laws were enacted to put rules around how many hours a driver can actually drive, how many hours he has to rest.
But in a pandemic, he believes these changes are beneficial.
I think everyone's concerned about the risk of everyone's health and safety behind the wheel, but I think just given the emergency needs across the United States, this emergency rule made a lot of sense.
Reporting, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
These changes are, of course, temporary. When the president lifts the emergency order, the law will go back to the way it was. More than 500,000 workers in Illinois tried to file claims for unemployment benefits in a span of 5 weeks, and many workers are still trying to apply. The state has to design a new web system for self-employed contractors to apply, while it handles a record number of regular claims. It's processed and paid more than half of those claims. Today, the governor said the process for 1099 workers will be up in 1 month by May. Most coronavirus cases in Macon County are related to a senior facility in Decatur. The health department confirms 31 of the 42 people are tied to Fairhavens. It said tonight 2 of the residents have died. One, a man in his 80s, the other, a woman in her 70s. The CDC and State Public Health Department have guidelines for facilities after they've confirmed a positive test. They include ending all grouped activities, performing temperature checks for residents and staff, and limiting visitations to essential personnel. From the Department of Public Health now, new cases are up more than 1,000. That includes another 74 deaths. The total number of cases in the state is now at more than 22,000 and nearly 800 deaths. OSF is helping with the statewide launch of a new resource for COVID-19 patients. It's set up a telehealth service to do remote patient checkups and provide mental health support. People who have COVID-19 symptoms and need to stay home to quarantine can call the hotline to get set up with a health worker. They'll connect digitally on a daily basis for 2 weeks to help with recovery. They'll also deliver wellness kits that include essential tools to monitor a patient's health, including thermometers, blood pressure cuffs, and alcohol wipes.
Our pandemic health worker fielders go into the community. They put the package on the door, and then they go back to their vehicle, and then they're able to use that tablet or the electronic device that a client may already have in their home to communicate then. And so there's no physical contact with that client.
A person's eligible for the program if they show COVID-19 symptoms, are at high risk for contracting the virus, but do not require emergency or inpatient care, and can be digitally monitored at home. You have to call the hospital hotline to find out if you qualify. We have a link to that hotline at WCIA.com. Being a nurse is no easy job, of course, and doing it during a pandemic adds its challenges. We caught up with Teresa Green, who oversees the nursing staff at Carl. She says nurses are using creative ways to be safe while caring for their COVID-19 patients. One example is Carl has a special washing station for nurses to remove their scrubs and shower before going home. They also have housing options for employees who are worried about infecting their families. On top of that, nurses are being careful about how often they move from one area of the building to another.
We try to do everything that we can for the patient in that one time so that we're really conserving our PPE and making sure that we're limiting the number of times that we're having to go travel throughout a department, or making sure that we are using one mask for a shift.
Carl is still accepting N95 and cloth mask donations. The hospital asks everyone to follow CDC recommendations and wear a mask when you're out. People in Champaign County expressed concern because technicians at area blood centers have not been wearing personal protective equipment. Today, we spoke with Community Blood Services of Illinois to get some clarification. They told us they're following the CDC's most recent guidelines, which do not clearly specify employees at blood donation centers need to wear PPE. However, the Champaign-Urbana Public Health Department was in contact with Urbana's Blood Donation Center. The health department's new guidelines state donors and technicians must wear masks. The Community Blood Services of Illinois told us the #1 priority there is safety and following the most recent health guidelines in place.
There's a distinction that I don't think everyone sees, and we understand that there's a lot of stress and anxiety about what's happening around us, and it's confusing, and it kind of gets all of us a little bit riled up. But what we go from and where we base our decisions about policy and what staff are going to be doing is that specific CDC guidance.
As an added safety measure, blood centers in that network are no longer allowing walk-ins. Donations must be made by appointment, and everyone is screened to make sure they are not experiencing symptoms before they are approved to donate. Urbana police are still looking for the person who shot and killed a 15-year-old Saturday night. Happened on Philo Road between Michigan and Laurel around 6:30. Police say Terrace Pettis was shot while riding his bike. The teenager was pronounced dead at the hospital. Urbana's mayor says this was a group of teenagers who have a history of gun violence. She says this is a reminder to the community. This is a battle city leaders are facing.
Even though our everyday routines have just been swept away in the past month, all the underlying issues and challenges that we were dealing with a month ago are still there, and in many cases made a lot worse because of the lack of structure, the lack of school.
Police say there are no suspects in custody, and they're asking anyone with information, pictures, video to contact the department. Macoupin County officials are looking for a person who escaped the jail last night. They say William Kavanaugh went into a closet, crawled through the ceiling, and out a second-story window. Video from outside the jail shows him walking south. Officials believe another inmate helped him escape. They say Kavanaugh is dangerous. If you know anything about where he is or what happened, call the Macoupin County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers. Officials in 3 counties are looking for people who all disappeared within a week. The McLean County Sheriff's Office is looking for 31-year-old Tyler Graff from Downs. He was last seen Saturday morning. Authorities there had teams looking for him all weekend. They want anyone who might know where he is to call the number on the screen, 309-888-5034. They've continued to patrol that area all day. In Champaign, police are looking for a 23-year-old man who disappeared last week. They say Jeremy Wallace was visiting family. He left their home late Thursday night and was seen at a business near Kenwood and Springfield in Champaign. He left there and hasn't been seen since. If you know anything about that disappearance, you're asked to call police or Crime Stoppers. In Shelby County, police say it's been more than a week since 29-year-old Kimberly Mattingly disappeared. She was last seen April 5th getting into a blue car with a man. Authorities say her phone later pinged in Effingham, but there's no other evidence of where she might be. If you've seen her, call the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. You always see firefighters, police, and EMTs, but not one group. Why? They're just as important. Plus, you need to train if you want to be a police officer. How that's changing because of COVID-19. And spring sports are a no-go, but summer sports are also starting to be hit. Well, that's a blow to at least one athlete.
WCIA 3 News is sponsored by Classic Granite and Marble.
Struggling to get a great night's sleep? Shop local at Mattoon Mattress for quality bedding that costs less. Visit our showroom to see our large selection and pick out the right mattress for you. Make the comfortable choice today. Visit Mattoon Mattress.
Everyone at Honda wants you to be safe. And right now, you need a car you can count on and your dealer to go the extra mile. So if your Honda needs parts or service, we're right here ready to help. Working to follow all government guidelines in order to get you what you need and help you stay safe with a reliable car that's ready to go when you need it.
Is your AC system ready for the warm weather? Did it limp through last year's cooling season with persistent coolant leaks or poor performance? Good news, it's tune-up time at Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Matex is offering their special 33-point tune-up for only $69, including a refrigerant leak check at no extra charge. That's right, Matex's exclusive 33-point tune-up for only $69 with a refrigerant leak check valued at over $100, but it's for a limited time only. Matex, feel the difference, trusted for over 25 years.
At Ostling & Associates, there's only a $750 fee for single filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Bankruptcy questions? Visit our website at bcyhelp.com. An emergency bankruptcy can stop foreclosures, judgments, repossessions, utility shutoffs, and court proceedings. Call Ostling & Associates with 20 Illinois offices to serve you. Call Ostling & Associates now and stop the collection calls.
Does your home show signs of foundation problems? Call the experts at Woods Basement Systems. Our Power Brace system can fix the problem permanently and help protect the value of your home. Call Woods Basement Systems today. Woods, the all things basement-y experts.
Don't spend your time wandering around the web. For the most concise local news and accurate weather coverage, turn to WCIA.com.
Tomorrow on CI Living, we check in again with Quarantine TV host and designer Doug Wilson and get some movie and recipe recommendations from Chuck and Pam. See you at 4.
Wash your hands, avoid sick people, and touching your face. There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. Brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
WCIA3 News is sponsored by Midas Tire and Auto in Urbana. Live from your local news leader, Jessica Coons, Paul Cicchini, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty and Brett Behrens on sports. You're watching WCIA3 News at 10.
Some of the most essential workers are now being trained a little differently. The U of I's Police Training Institute has to train new officers without being able to meet in a classroom. It's been a challenge. The director says they can teach recruits the basics online, but there is no substitute for some of the hands-on lessons.
There is so much in-person, hands-on training that is absolutely necessary. We know you can learn some things in a classroom, but it's not until you can put those things in practice in scenario-based training that things actually click.
That, of course, includes firearms training, CPR, arrest tactics, and more. Normally, the academy lasts 14 weeks. This year, the instructors may need to extend that. Kevin, you're talking some winter weather.
I am. I'm not real happy about talking.
Nobody is.
But, yeah.
Not in April.
Yeah, I've got a couple chances for snow this week. Just when we think that can get much worse, we've got accumulating snowfall that may even show up. That's the Roofing Dog INET Bratcher weather camera showing the almanac 53. We're not even going to sniff that tomorrow. Colder air coming in. We'll talk about that and the chances for the snow next.
Today on the morning show, we told you where crews were battling a fire. And tomorrow, a doctor from Christie Clinic will tell us how to properly use a mask.
Watch Capital Connection, Sunday mornings at 10:30 on WCIA3.
WCIA3 News is sponsored by Steinmeier Roofing.
Life's most precious moments, made on the prairie. Best Western Plus, Green Mill Village Hotel and Suites and Convention Center.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World in Champaign, we'll beat any competitor's deal. We'll beat any competitor's deal on refrigerators and freezers, washers and dryers, ranges, microwaves, and dishwashers. I guarantee the best deal on your next appliance purchase.
Angela's trying to decide to get this GE front-load washer from Dick Van Dyke or the big department store. Dick Van Dyke has fast repair service.
They don't.
A free 10-year protection plan.
They don't.
After delivery and warranty, we'll save her $352. She's buying from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
At Casey's, we're here for our town. Now, more than ever. Which is why we're here with the made-from-scratch pizza you love. And here for the folks working hard to keep things running smoothly. Because even in these uncertain times, one thing never changes. We're all here, in this, together. Now get 2 large single-topping pizzas for just $9.99 each. Casey's, here for our community, here for good.
Life's most precious moments, made on the prairie. Best Western Plus, Green Mill Village Hotel and Suites and Convention Center.
WCIA3 News is sponsored by Bard Optical. Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
Chilly night in store for us. Clouds are actually on the increase, as you can see here on our satellite picture. I'm not expecting really any precipitation here tonight or tomorrow, but later this week, we've got snow in the forecast. Getting cold enough to snow. 33 in Champaign right now, 33 also in Watsika, 36 in Danville, 38 one of the warmer spots in Decatur. But when we factor in the wind, and it's not a strong wind, it feels like 28. Winds are only around 5 to 10 miles an hour after they were gusting near 40 miles an hour earlier today. So again, we think we're going to be hovering right near that freezing mark to start out tomorrow. So a freeze warning has been issued as the growing season has begun. So if you've got plants that are sensitive to this cold, you're going to want to bring them in or cover them up. And again, we're already into the low 30s right now, so you better get on it here as the temperatures could be below that freezing mark into early tomorrow morning. Now, I think we're going to see a mix of sun and clouds as we head into your Tuesday. So not a terrible day. It's just not going to warm up a whole lot with high temperatures in Rantoul at around 44 degrees. That is 15 plus degrees below normal. The same can be said for Atwood, a high of 45, kind of a chilly day. And in Camargo, similar conditions with those mid-40s. But at least it's not raining and it's not snowing like it's going to on Wednesday. Take a look at this. Future Track shows a little area of snow that may roll through the area early on Wednesday morning. So yes, we are putting down maybe even some light accumulations with this Wednesday morning. And then transitioning as things warm up to maybe a little bit of rain through the afternoon. So a wintry mix in store on Wednesday. But it stays chilly for us this week. Look at this. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Highs only in the 40s, but hey, we like this trend jumping just in time for the weekend. But the rest of this week looking rough. So remember I said 2 opportunities for snow this week, one on Wednesday. The other one gets in here Thursday night and into Friday morning. Once again, especially north of I-74, accumulating snowfall possible. And yeah, the ground is really warm, so it's going to be hard to accumulate a lot. But I think we might be able to on some grassy surfaces and whatnot. I think it's definitely possible. 32, cloudy and chilly tonight. Tomorrow, 45. We're still going to have those clouds around, and look at your 7-day forecast. Again, Wednesday morning and Friday morning, both days, I think snow will be flying around, and yes, maybe even some light accumulations with those systems.
You know, we really need this weather to stay nice. We really enjoy taking walks outside.
Walks, yeah, taking a break outside. We've been in the 50s and 60s. That's been good, but you're going to have to get your snow shovel back out for your exercise now.
It's a hard pass, man. We were doing so much yard work.
Yeah, I hope you didn't plant anything.
Yeah, it's too late for that.
Yeah.
We already did some of that.
Yep.
All right, Kevin, thanks. Well, it is time for our bright spot now. We're showing you a little bit of positivity with some of the photos and video you send our way. Here is one from Beth. She said, just because you have to homeschool doesn't mean you can't get scientifically creative. Looks like they're having a little fun right there. This one is from Tina with a rather important reminder, and I can't read the screen from this far away. Love has no limits. That's what I'm told in my ear. Which is so true. All right, we want to see your pictures and videos. Email us or send them on Facebook. We will have a post at the top of our page for you to share what you are seeing. All right, another change to one Illini team, how women's basketball coach Nancy Fay is switching it up. Plus, coronavirus has changed how police and firefighters respond to some emergencies, but it's also added something else to consider for the people who dispatch them.
WCIA3's Storm Team brings you the latest weather conditions from outside in the Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing Weather Guard.
Comfortable out here in the Matex Heating and Cooling Weather Guard.
Our hard-working, highly trained Storm Team delivers the most accurate forecast in Central Illinois. Trust Kevin Lighty, Adam Claybon, Jack Gerfen, and Amelia Henderson in the studio or out in the Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing Weather Garden. WCIA3, your local weather leader.
Hi, I'm Cord Schroeder, owner of Bash Pepper Roofing. Our specialty is maximizing your roofing investment. Whether it's a leak that needs repair to get a few more years out of your current roof, or it's time for a new one, we'll customize a roofing plan for all your needs. Bash Pepper Roofing, large or small, we cover them all.
Introducing Aunt Bee. She is Sunset's new comfort dog. Not only will she comfort our guests, but she will also answer questions regarding youth and funerals. I'm Judy Fraser. I would suggest that you email Aunt Bee today. Did you know that by planning your funeral or cremation ahead of time, you can lock in today's prices and make affordable monthly payments? I'm Judy Fraser, and if pre-planning is on your mind, I would suggest that you make just one phone call. Sunset Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers.
PDR Automotive in Urbana will provide all of your maintenance needs for personal or fleet vehicles. Tire sales and service, quality brake service, computer system diagnostics, and programming. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
IMB has a buzzworthy reason to open a new checking account. $100 and a Barnaby Stuff fee. Stop in to any IMB branch or head online to imb.com. We know you'll be happy at IMB.
At Papa Murphy's, we know family time is more important than ever. So we're helping by offering online ordering everywhere and delivery and curbside pickup where we can, so you can keep family time as normal as possible. Papa Murphy's, we're in this together.
The Our Home is the training ground for her dreams policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Kimmler Gunworks supports your right to keep and bear arms by providing professional gun sales and service. From flintlocks to AR-15s, Kimmler Gunworks can help you with special orders, cleaning, repairs, scoping, and more. Visit us today in Argenta.
Hi, I'm Cord Schroeder, owner of Bash Pepper Roofing. Our specialty is maximizing your roofing investment. Whether it's a leak that needs repair to get a few more years out of your current roof, or it's time for a new one, we'll customize a roofing plan for all your needs. Bash Pepper Roofing, large or small, we cover them all.
The news continues here on WCIA3, your local news leader.
We've told you stories about communities giving thunderous applause to healthcare workers and first responders and others on the front lines of this pandemic. This week, officials want you to put your hands together for the people working behind the scenes of every emergency in your community. WCIA3's Emily Braun reports.
When you call 911 for an emergency, you expect to see the flashing lights of police, ambulance, or fire vehicles. During Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, it's all about who you hear on the other end of your phone call.
They are often very invisible workers. No one sees them responding to the house. No one sees them out in the public in a car that's very recognizable.
Betsy Smith is the operations manager for MetCAD, Champaign County's 911 dispatch organization. She says dispatchers may not be on the front lines, so to speak, but with COVID-19, they're now serving as a first line of defense.
In the past, we've never really had to consider someone's health as we've approached a police problem. And even for our high priority calls, it's a question that we still ask is about the health of the people that are involved in the police problem, just so we can give the first responders a little bit more information before they get into that call situation.
Smith says since the stay-at-home order started, their emergency call volume has gone down, but times are just as stressful, if not even more so for dispatchers, because accuracy and timeliness are just as crucial. So it means a lot, especially now, to have a week devoted to the public safety workers who are heard but not seen.
I think the community's been really great about acknowledging that we are essential personnel, that we are the first responders.
In Champaign County, Emily Braun, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Public Safety Telecommunicators Week has been around since the 1980s. Champaign County's been recognizing it for the past several years. All right, Craig, what's on tap tonight?
A lot of people have been calling for this, and it's finally happening. The Chicago Bulls are making changes to their leadership group. John Paxson, Gar Foreman, they're gone. We'll tell you details coming up next.
Sports on WCIA3 is brought to you by PNP Heating and Cooling.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting bigger and bigger. Normally, we'd want someone in Illinois to win that money and not some other state. But right now, we're rooting for everyone, even Wisconsin. Good luck, Wisconsin. Your friend, Illinois. Download the app or play online.
Matt Minster here with Olivia, and we're talking easy energy savings tips for your kitchen.
So, I made a list of all the things in the kitchen that use energy, so we can figure out ways to save.
Sounds like a plan.
Turn off the coffee pot.
Don't stand in front of an open fridge longer than you need to.
Air dry your dishes.
See, that's a lot of ways to save, and it can really add up if you do all of them.
What about this one?
Oh, yeah. For more tips, go to AmerenIllinois.com/savingsmadeeasy.
The Powerball jackpot is now over $150 million. Normally, we want someone in Illinois to win that money and not some other state. But right now, we're rooting for everyone, even Wisconsin. Good luck, Wisconsin. Your friend, Illinois. Download the app or play online.
Get ready for television's inspirational night of social connecting. The Stellar Awards Music of Hope Special with Mary Mary, Yolanda Adams, Donnie McClurkin, Jonathan McReynolds, Travis Green, and more. Hosted by Kirk Franklin.
WCIA3 News is sponsored by Edelman Electric Plumbing and HVAC. And now, WCIA3 Sports with Craig Choate.
Most of the focus right now is geared towards those sports that are supposed to be in season right now, like high school baseball, softball, and track. But COVID-19 is also impacting the summer circuits already, especially AAU basketball. Marley Weirda visited with one local athlete who is hoping to take another step this summer.
Jalen Quinn had his bags packed for Dallas and Kansas City, but will have to stay home instead.
Knowing I could have been out there and showing college coaches what I can do, and just them wanting to see me play, and that's unfortunate for me and a lot of kids out there. And the only thing I can do is just keep working and just getting better while I have this time off.
The Tuscola sophomore is missing the start of his AAU basketball season with the Illinois Wolves. Most of the tournaments on the circuit are already canceled due to COVID-19. It was panning out to be a big season for Quinn, who is just starting to receive interest from Division I programs.
Like, they want to see what he can do versus the best players in the country, and he was going to have that opportunity playing with the team that he was going to play for. And so at that point, when you're playing against the best of the best, it's kind of either sink or swim, and he had kind of a little bit of a chip on his shoulder.
Tuscola head coach Justin Bozarth said Quinn showed college potential in just the 8th grade. The point guard has already taken several visits to Power 5 schools, including a few to Illinois this year.
You know, I've always grown up watching them, and them being my favorite team and my dream school growing up, and just now I'm getting older and they have interest in me. It's a really big thing for me.
Quinn averaged 21 points and 7 rebounds this season, passing the 1,000-point mark with 2 years left to play. He knows he's already shown a lot, even if this year's AAU season doesn't happen.
Definitely happy that in the place I am right now, not everybody gets the attention that I have right now, and it's really good that I have it right now. Me being only a sophomore and I still have seasons ahead of me, I'm very grateful for that.
Missouri and Purdue are also showing interest, but Illinois is still at the top of the list. Reporting in Tuscola, Marley Weirda, WCIA 3 Sports.
Thank you, Marley. More changes to the Illinois women's basketball coaching staff. Nancy Fay has hired Vernette Skeet as an assistant coach. She spent the last 6 years at Marquette. That's the same time Scott Merritt, who Fay hired just weeks ago, was also an assistant at Marquette. The hire moves former assistant coach Tiana Kirkland to the role of head coordinator of recruiting and director of student-athlete development. And in the NBA, the Chicago Bulls have made some changes to their leadership. Brand new executive vice president of basketball operations, Arturas Karnisovas, has fired Gar Forman as general manager and reassigned former vice president of basketball operations, John Paxson, to an advisory role. Forman was with the Bulls for 22 seasons. He took over as GM in May of 2009, a role that Forman held from 2003 to 2009 before becoming VP of basketball ops. A lot of people wanted to see that. Now it's taking action. The Bulls might be on an upward trend.
Now it's time to make some changes, I guess.
Yeah, you got some time on your hands.
Yes, certainly do. All right, Craig, thanks. Stick around. We'll be right back.
WCIA 3 News is brought to you by Stouts Building Services.
Tapman's Car Star would like to thank everyone who voted our business #1 for collision repair in the News Gazette's People's Choice Award. Tapman is a trusted name in collision repair. Be assured we're working even harder to remain the team you trust. Thank you.
This is your moment to take the path less traveled, to break the status quo, to stop talking about the problem and be the solution. This is your moment to shape the future. This is your moment to be the greater good. Join AMERICORPS.
We live in rural Central Illinois and didn't think that Spring Green would come to our home. We called and they were here within a week.
If you live anywhere between Monticello and the Indiana border, from Gibson City to Neoga, call Spring Green and they'll come to you.
Everyone is trying to do their part, especially now. And your Ford dealer is built to lend a hand. If your vehicle needs service, just call. Ford service centers are essential to your community and are still open. Find out about pickup and delivery options from participating Ford dealers. Plus, they've implemented enhanced cleaning measures for added peace of mind. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us do our part and help take care of you.
We suffered a fire. Every room was touched by smoke. It gave us an opportunity to revision it for the next century. I would definitely recommend Mental. We just owe a debt of gratitude.
Tapman's Car Star would like to thank everyone who voted our business #1 for collision repair in the News Gazette's People's Choice Award. Tapman is a trusted name in collision repair. Be assured we're working even harder to remain the team you trust. Thank you.
Tomorrow on CI Living, we check in again with Quarantine TV host and designer Doug Wilson and get some movie and recipe recommendations from Chuck and Pam. See you at 4.
Expecting a cool day tomorrow. Temperatures only in the mid-40s, but that's pretty much the case every day this week. The difference is no snow on Tuesday. That's not the case for Wednesday and Friday, where both days we could see some light accumulations. So that'll be something to look forward to, as Paul likes to say.
Saturday, maybe. There's something to look forward to.
That's probably a little more accurate.
All right, Kevin, thanks. Have a good night. We will see you tomorrow.